When we are able to look at a region as both ecosystem and human environment, sustaining both biodiversity and livelihood, only then can we truly understand its richness and beauty. It is this that shapes innovative solutions to a region's needs, balancing ecological concerns with income generation and an improved quality of life. This is what the United Nations Development Programme, or UNDP's efforts have been over recent years in diverse regions of India. One way is to supplement livelihood options with training and other assistance also being provided. This directly increases income while also reducing the pressure on natural resources, allowing them to be utilized in a more sustainable way. Another is to help shape even natural resource-based livelihoods so that they are lighter on the resource and on habitats, while being more productive as well. Situations and terrains vary, and these solutions accordingly take various forms. Mukokchung, Nagaland. Under the pressures of increasing population and finite land, the 12-year cycles of shifting, slash and burn cultivation have become 3 or 4-year cycles. The land doesn't lie fallow long enough for it to regenerate as per this technique. There has been an accelerated depletion of natural resources, deterioration of soil fertility, and a drop in the yield the farmers would obtain from their crops. Attempting to remove the practice of jhumming from these communities' consciousness would not have been either a good idea or a workable one. So what was needed was to find ways of lengthening the jhum cycle once again. One response: a mix of land use, combining both improved soil and water conservation measures, as well as organic farming in jhum lands through a mix of traditional and scientific methods.
Shifting cultivation is not very sustainable and it's not very productive. So what we should do is we should motivate our farming community so that they also switch over to new system of cultivation or new technology. Like even though there is a water scarcity in the jhum land, they can always go for some soil and water conservation structures so that the fertility of the soil or the topsoil which is being washed away is being restored, and also some livelihood programs so that farmers do not continue the jhum cultivation.
This begins to take some of the pressure off the resource base. Next, opportunities for supplementary livelihoods were provided. Tea cultivation, piggery, poultry keeping, vermicomposting, beekeeping. This was done in a coordinated way, with training, financial assistance, and material inputs all being facilitated. The gains are tangible.
Ipa luda alaka ipa ninang michizi bakos akazalir asri ipa ninang nongji ninang ji kamnong anabun agizagar asir bakos ananong agizabaji potol ter agizagali asir potol kano noklang asimsir dana magisayogar
ni akmatsbaji ni itas mature aloymer daje aloyo nungji akadama mentin yukza saji sungulu tabujin di palala mitalo na dai yukza asaji penat wa akji matser daser tebunga matser teza ser teza jagi teza no pener aji mupwa yuka tanodam ajagi skolzung dakser gidang iba jajang maintenance.
Maintaining and replenishing the soil is an important exercise for sustained agricultural use. To improve the soil quality directly, UNDP, with financial assistance from the Global Environment Facility, or GEF, has introduced techniques such as contour bunding to avoid soil erosion, nitrogen-fixing plants, and bench terraces.
Counterbounding gore ase. Yadi counterbounding do ame to nechi do to feet aro upper do ek feet ase. Yadi upper bra aha mol jama kore gana tadi vegetables kan lakai ase. Tadi lakai gana makan family feet kore ase.
Together, all these efforts have increased incomes and avenues of occupation in the area, reduced the pressure on land, and assisted in the regeneration of the habitat. In Bokaro and adjoining areas in Jharkhand state, many have resettled where they used to be earlier before mining evicted them from their land. In the once mined area, they use pools of water collecting in the dugout earth as water sources, building a lift irrigation system on its basis that allows them to grow vegetables to supplement their single paddy crop.
Jharkhand, basically biodiversity is affected due to mining, due to urbanization, due to unorganized removal of non-timber forest produce.
कम्युनिटी को मोबिलाइज करना था कि वे लोग यहाँ पर जो जल जंगल और ज़मीन है और जानवर उसकी रक्षा करें। तो हमने यहाँ इस प्रोजेक्ट के तहत सिंचाई के लिए कुआं जैसा होता है वो उसको हम लोगों ने बनाया और महिलाओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए SHG बना करके सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप बना करके उनको आर्थिक सहयोग दी गई कुछ आय उपार्जन गतिविधि करने के लिए।
Another initiative has been to revive and further develop the region's traditional occupation of lac cultivation. Lac is the resinous secretion of a number of species of insects. The insects infest certain trees and shrubs, covering them over time with their secretions, which are then removed and purified for a variety of cosmetic, medicinal, and other uses. Community members were assisted in getting lac insects and saplings to start the process. Training was provided in planting and caring for the trees, releasing the insects to infest them, and harvesting, purifying, and marketing the end product.
और अभी ट्रेनिंग मिलने के बाद वैज्ञानिक तरीके से हम लोग को खेती करने के लिए सिखाया गया। इसके बाद उसी विधि से वैज्ञानिक विधि से हम लोग खेती बाड़ी हम लोग शुरू कर दिए हैं। हमने देखा कि लाख का खेती में कम मेहनत में सबसे ज़्यादा पैसा मिलता है, तो इसीलिए सब्जी के साथ साथ अभी ज़्यादा हम कुसुम और रंगीनी दोनों तरह का लाख हम खेती करते हैं।
A little innovation can sometimes go a long way. A vital contributor to the success of this initiative has been the choice of kusum trees rather than ber or palash as the plant host. Kusum trees grow faster. They are ready for lac cultivation sooner. They are shorter and more accessible, and the quality and quantity of lac produced is far higher. The lac is harvested twice a year and can bring in as much as 28,000 rupees for the farmer. With diversified income generation, reduced resource pressure, and better farming techniques, the communities of Bokaro and its neighborhood have been able to achieve a better quality of life in a better environment. At Dindori in Madhya Pradesh, another facet of the habitats and livelihoods challenge comes to the fore: wildlife conservation. The area's black buck were being hunted extensively for sport and for their meat and horns. Today, the Karopani Black Buck Sanctuary spreads over 50 square kilometers of this area, with 200 black buck roaming freely through it without fear of being hunted down. The villagers act as guards to the animals they used to hunt, protecting them from wild dogs and other predators that might carry away the fawns. There has been a revival of the traditional relationship between local communities and the black buck, an animal that has always figured importantly in their mythology.
यहाँ जो काला हिरण जो पले है उसको अपने बच्चा तरह से उसको हम जान रहे हैं और संभाल रहे हैं, कोई नुकसान ना करे करके, कोई मारे ना करके, और हमारी फसल की भी नुकसान कर रहे हैं पर उसको हम परेशानी कर रहे हैं ना कुछ नहीं, हम अपने बच्चे की तरह से उसको हम पर देख रेख कर रहे हैं।
इनकी दर्शन से शुभ मानते हैं और ये हमारी नुकसान भी करते हैं फसलों की, फिर भी इनकी बचाव इसलिए करते हैं कि हमारी सुंदरता है, हमारी आसपास की लोग बाग जो है इसकी दर्शन की अभिलाषी हैं और आते जाते हैं, और हमारे आसपास की ही नहीं देश विदेशों से इनकी दर्शन के लिए लोग आते हैं।
By involving the villagers in the maintenance and running of the sanctuary, the effort seeks to harmonize their interests with the presence and development of the park. Conservation-based livelihood opportunities offered by the sanctuary help in this.
हम लोगों ने सर गांव के जितने भी यहाँ के लोग हैं इन लोगों को सबको हमने सूचना दे के रखा है कि ये आपके क्षेत्र में कृष्ण मृग है और ये एक वन प्राणी है, इसकी सुरक्षा हम लोगों को सबको करना है मिलजुल करके। अगर किसी प्रकार कहीं से भी कोई भी अगर यानी घटना अगर घटित होती है तो यहाँ हम लोगों का मोबाइल नंबर है, सबको हम लोग गाँव में दे के रखा है सभी लोगों को। तो ये लोग जैसे कुछ भी अगर कोई कुत्ते वगैरह या कोई संदिग्ध आदमी कभी विचरण करता है यहाँ पर तो हम लोग को सूचित कर देते, तो हम लोग यहाँ पर आकर के निगरानी करते रहते हैं।
Across terrains, situations and ecosystems, the aim is always to look at all initiatives and objectives in an integrated manner, respecting their interconnections. Whether it is restoring a damaged ecosystem, providing sustainable economic opportunities, protecting plant and animal diversity, or keeping unique knowledge systems alive. India has, for example, some 8,000 medicinal plant species. It is the second largest producer of herbal medicines in the world. The medicinal plant resources, including globally significant medicinal plants, are today under increased threat due to uncontrolled harvesting for trade. At the same time, some 60 to 80% of India's population relies on medicinal plants for health care, especially the rural poor.
मान लिया जाए हमारा दादा लोग जो किए उसी काम को हम भी कर रहे हैं, ये जड़ी बूटी का। हाँ, पहले हमारे आजा दादा लोग डॉक्टर को नहीं जानते थे सर। हाँ, वही जंगल जड़ी बूटी से जीते खाते रहे।
Traditional knowledge and practices hold the key to the future of innovations to ensure rural livelihoods are in sync with growth in the industry. UNDP and GEF have supported work in the field of conservation and sustainable use of medicinal and aromatic plant diversity by mainstreaming it into the policies and practices of the forestry, horticulture and health sectors in India. 74 medicinal plant conservation areas in 12 states have been established across the country, covering an area of 15,000 hectares based on the identification and the presence of globally significant plant species. Traditional health practices of local healers is being mainstreamed through UNDP's facilitation of preparation of people's biodiversity registers as mandated under the Biological Diversity Act of India and Biocultural Community Protocols as recommended by the Nagoya Protocol.
हमारे शुरुआत आजा दादा लोग जमाने का ये चर्चा है, अभी का चर्चा नहीं है, शुरुआत का।
Diversity within an ecosystem is one kind of challenge. The other is the diversity of the macrosystems themselves. Habitats come in diverse forms, and each requires its own form of protection. the Gulf of Mannar, at the southeastern tip of India, home to over 3,600 species of flora and fauna, including sea turtles, sharks, dugongs, and other endangered marine species. Fishing communities here used to live off the sea's produce, while visitors would come to marvel at its marine life. But rare marine species are getting caught and killed in the fishermen's nets. The coral reef was getting damaged, and the reckless exploitation of the marine ecosystem was becoming a severe threat.
The main thrust of the project or the trust is to intervene in the socio-economic lifestyle of the people, which is marginalized and who are in majority dependent on marine resources for eking out their livelihood.
Today, villagers patrol the coast jointly with the guards of the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve and help to keep illegal fishing and poaching at bay. They are trained for this new role by the reserve officials to help co-opt them into the protection activities. Modifications in the fishing tools and techniques have reduced the problem of marine life other than the catch itself getting caught and killed in the nets. When they do happen to catch something superfluous or endangered, the fishermen now return it to the water. The coral reef is slowly restoring itself with close supervision of the area to ensure that visitors do not disturb the reef. All this has been possible largely because the local communities have been given training in several occupations that make use of the area and its more abundant resources, saving the scarce ones for future generations. From the northeastern hills, through the forests of central India and its southern coast, we arrive finally at the heart of the Himalayas, Kulu in Himachal Pradesh, where the tree line ends suddenly near the top of the slopes and majestic alpine meadows spread like vast gardens of Eden across the mountain tops. The people of this area have had a long tradition of ecologically responsible coexistence with their environment. But sheer numbers, climate-related changes, and other factors are putting that under strain. Also, like other rural communities, they are badly in need of supplementary income generation.
तो हमारा ये है कि उनको बचाने के लिए जो हमारे जैसे कुज्जा, थाइम, ऑर्गेनो इन चीज़ों को बढ़ावा दे या इनका कुछ मतलब ऐसा वो कटिंग करके या कुछ कोई बीज करके जिससे लोगों के आमदनी के तरीके इनके ऊपर आधारित हो.
The cultivation and sale of herbs such as oregano, basil and tulsi is one of the activities introduced here. These herbs can be grown in kitchen gardens or between other crops in the field. There is a great demand for them internationally, and even the Indian market is growing. Rosehip extract made from the fruit of the rose plant is another product with good demand. It is used in herbal teas, jams and jellies and several other preparations. What we have just seen is a glimpse of the activities being undertaken in diverse parts of India. The contours and challenges vary from location to location, situation to situation.
200 million people of this country are directly dependent on biodiversity or the services it gives, directly dependent. And we shudder to think the day it's off, what will happen to those 200 million people. So it's such a unique thing, and I think that is what is holding the 8% of the world's biodiversity in India.
But once the common perspective of sustaining ecosystems and communities together is brought to bear, the ideas begin to flow. Because these are not just initiatives. They are enduring engagements with India's future, with carrying its wealth of life, sustaining diversity forward in ways that work for communities, natural systems, and ultimately for the world itself. It is only from this that resilient change can come about, and the vicious cycle of poverty and environmental degradation be broken. The goal is a more harmonious coexistence, like the one that perhaps existed in the distant past, but adapted to today's needs, stresses, and numbers. Across the planet, as in India, it is this that affords the best guarantee towards protecting our future.